Welcome to the latest Glass Bullet Pictures video blog from the old Coast Guard station off the coast of Crail. But before I talk about that, I'm just going to talk about something very important in terms of locations, and that is of course getting permission to film in locations. We've just been chased off one of the old Prey Specimen Red locations, which is Crail Airfield, which we used for World War II scenes. Because those scenes were filmed so long ago, the telephone number I had for the owner was well out of date. So we arrived, we set up, everything was cool, we proceeded to film, and then the site manager basically came along and told us we didn't have permission to film, which was actually correct. So we'll just talk a wee bit about that. You're always best to obtain permission for filming locations. The bulk of the locations in the Prey Specimen Red we had full permission to film on. There were a few exceptions to that. One location that we used was an old shale quarry on the outskirts of Tabrax in Lanarkshire, and if any of you think back to old kind of Star Trek episodes where they land on a kind of desert planet, that location was just exactly like that. It was fantastic. But for the life of me, I could not actually find out who the owner was. In fact, at one point I even travelled to Registrar House in Edinburgh, and they ran a full search for me. And the last owner was actually dated away back in the year 1925. And it seemed to be a mystery as to who actually owned it. So in that particular case, because we were unsuccessful in obtaining permission, because there was nobody to obtain permission from, we just proceeded with the filming and everything went ahead fine. So you may sometimes find yourself in situations where it's actually quite difficult to find the owner of the property. But if you can, you're always certainly best to ask. So here we are at the old Coast Guard station. I think it closed about 10 years ago. We haven't been inside the building, we're just outside the building. It raises a few possibilities in terms of filming. If we were to enter the building, get permission to enter the building, because of the panoramic view up on the top floor, I think we could do some very good scenes with characters basically looking out onto the horizon, or perhaps even waiting for other characters to appear. And certainly down here we're actually very close to the beach, and certainly in our new movies, both The Priesthood and also Cadaver Man, I can already imagine how we could make use of this particular location. In terms of tech, we've got a two-man crew today. I'm joined by my colleagues Alistair and Derek. All the filming has been done on two Canon XF100s, and again we're using our Sennheiser microphone system. Crypts, tombstones, cemeteries, Birkenhair, all these images that come up when we think about kind of classic horror. And here we are at the old kirk in Crail. Amazing location, very old cemetery. We've even got the Mort House, where back in the day, before the days of refrigeration, corpses would be brought prior to burial. So, very interesting location. In terms of our own future productions, I think it's certainly a location we could certainly make use of. I can see some great dialogue scenes during the day, but I can also see some very atmospheric spooky sequences which we could possibly do at night, bring in a bit of smoke. It could be incredibly atmospheric. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video blog, and there'll be another one coming up soon.